Yes, sir. Yes, sir. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD though, back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on my third quadrant running back rankings. Third quadrant running back rankings. So listen, guys, I got 1 through 12. Listen, my rankings are going to be different than everybody. That's why I do these rankings. So I think this can really help y'all. I think these guys that are in my top 12 needs to be started every single week, no matter what. Even if you're in a 16 league, 18, 10, 12, 14, 16, 32. So play these guys. So guys, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. You tell me who does vlogging lives for fantasy football content and has a really good hit rate. This year with the injuries, I would say I'm in the low 60s as far as my hit percentage. But listen, we still got a lot of time left. So let's see. Hopefully, I can get it closer to the 70%. But if I wanted to go down with the guys who got injured, I had 3 or 4 injuries this year. Been a lot of injuries. We all have injuries, so it's just all about your preference. But other than that, guys, I got a lot of cutting edge guys that was on that list, and I got some cutting edge guys on my rankings that you might not presume that would be on here. So appreciate everybody being here. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. I see you, Big Will, in the house. I say, Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Yes, sir. I see you, Tail Dog. Yes, sir. Okay. So with no further ado, let's begin. I'm going to go from 12 to 1. So my number 12 guy that's ranked on my list for running backs for the third quadrant, that's week 9 through 12. It's going to be Chase Brown. Yes, guys, Chase Brown. Now, listen, here's his schedule for the next 4 weeks, which is the third quadrant. He's playing against Chicago. He has a bye week, Pittsburgh, and New England. I would say he only has one tough matchup. New England. That's a pretty good defense. Pittsburgh has been giving up I'm not gonna say they've been giving it up behind the dumpster, but they are been giving up some yards in the run game. Also, he has a bye week, and sometimes that matters because you won't be able to use him in that bye week. So I want to mention that. But then he got Chicago. He has Chicago. They've been giving it up behind the dumpster. So I love Chase Brown, especially this week against Chicago, guys. So yes, he's in my top 12 far as the third quadrant. I know a lot of you been talking about Chase Brown, what to do with Chase Brown. Should you trade for him? Maybe by him being on these rankings, maybe you might want to acquire him. Yes, Chase Brown. What's up, D Lion? All right, let's go. Let's move on to my number 11 guy. My number 11 guy is going to be Kamani Vidal. Yes, Kamani Vidal in my top 12 in the third quadrant. That's why I talk about quadrants. You never know who can make a quadrant. Kamani Vidal made a quadrant. He's been playing really, really well. If you look at his PFF rating, it's a top 10 running back. So we just can't say this guy's just a bye week replacement for Amari Hampton to come back. We don't know when Amari Hampton come back. He might not come back into the playoffs. So Kamani Vidal, guys, with this type of schedule, he's playing against Tennessee, giving it up behind the dumpster. Yes, if you want some, Tennessee, you can come back there behind the dumpster and they'll give you some. Pittsburgh. They fair. They good. I'm not gonna say they're giving up behind the dumpster in the run game, but they can be had. So I'm okay with that. Jacksonville is a good, that's a good defense. And then he has a bye week. But I still had to rank this guy. I still think you should start this guy every week. So that's why I got him in my top 12. I like Kamani Vidal. I like the way he runs the ball. And I also like the offense where you're not going to stack the box. You have to stop Quentin Johnson, Gaddison, Lad McConkey, Keenan Allen. You got to stop these guys. So you're going to back these safeties up, and that's going to allow Kamani Vidal to eat in the green zone, in the red zone. All right, let's move on to my number 10 guy. Yes, my number 10 guy. My number 10 guy is going to be Derrick Henry. Yes, Derrick Henry. Remember, guys, this is from week 8. Week 9 to week 12. Week 9 to week 12. So Derrick Henry, guys, and this is his schedule. And this might be one of the best schedules. I could have had him ranked probably in the top 5, but I had to be fair for the guys who been balling and they are on fire going into the third quadrant. So I had to move him down a little bit. But this is his schedule. Miami this week, Minnesota, who can be had, they get ready to go behind the dumpster. They look like they going through some stuff. Like they might start changing their whole life in their hair color and all of that. So yeah, Minnesota, Cleveland, that's a good defense. That's a good defense. And New York Jets, and they giving it up behind the dumpster. I don't care if they had a good week last week. They still giving it up behind the dumpster. When we actually they didn't play well. They won the game, but they didn't play well last week. So yes, I love Derrick Henry, guys, as my top 10 or top 12 running back rankings for the third quadrant. Guys, make sure that if you have this guy, don't let nobody finesse you out of this guy. Don't let nobody come and say, look, man, hey, let me get Derrick Henry from you. No, you got the sauce. I'm not swapping out Josh Jacobs for Derrick Henry. I'm not swapping out CMC for Derrick Henry. I'm not swapping out Derrick Henry with nobody except for maybe Jonathan Taylor. Maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. Why? Because it's getting cold. So I want to have Derrick Henry because nobody wants to tackle a 250-pound guy running a 4.4 in the cold weather when your fingers is hurt. If you if you try to make the tackle, guys, and a guy helmet hits your finger, that shit hurts. It's cold. You know, have you ever stumped your toe in the cold? You ever bruised something up in the cold? That shit hurts. So I love Derrick Henry in the cold weather. Yes, sir. Moving on to my number 9 guy. My number 9 guy is going to be Quinshon Judkins. Yes, guys, Quinshon Judkins. Now, listen, here's his schedule. He has a bye week this week. Then he goes against New York Jets, who's been giving up behind the dumpster. Baltimore, who went to therapy, went and got some help, and they're not giving it up behind the dumpster anymore. They changed their life last week. Now, listen, can they go back to that? We all know people relapse. So Baltimore could relapse. So I'm not going to sit there and say this is a green bean matchup for Crenshaw. But Las Vegas Raiders, which is the last one. So they got the Las Vegas Raiders, New York Jets. Those right there are giving it up behind the dumpster matchups, and I love that with Crenshaw. Crenshaw also has showed you that he will chastise. You don't have to be giving it up behind the dumpster. He still will put you in your place. So I love Quinshon Judkins, guys. It doesn't matter about matchups. He's matchup proof. Now, everybody can have a dud game. Jonathan Taylor can have a dud game. Anybody can. But most of the time, Quinshon has showed you that no matter the matchup, he can give you a good week, depending on the matchup, right? It could be top 12, top 24. As long as it's top 24, I'm okay with it. All right, let's move on to my number 8 guy. My number 8 guy is going to be Josh Jacobs, guys. Yes, Josh Jacobs. And the reason why I think Josh Jacobs should be on my rankings this week is he got some really good matchups, and it's also getting cold. And, you know, in Green Bay, when the snow comes, running backs are very, very important. So I like Josh Jacobs going forward. I have to give him respect, so I had to rank him. But here's his schedule. Carolina, Philly, New York Giants, and Minnesota. All those are really good matchups. 3 of them, I would say they're giving it up behind the dumpster outside of Philly. So, yes, guys, Josh Jacobs is my number 8 running back. Moving on to my number 7 running back is going to be Saquon Barkley. Yes, and his schedule is going to be a bye week, Green Bay, Detroit, Dallas. That's the next 4 weeks. That's the third quadrant. And Saquon Barkley, you see that it's getting cold. They got to start using Saquon. It's only going to help Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So Saquon will be used. We just need to make sure that he's healthy, and I feel good about him being healthy. I heard some news about Tank Bigsby. This is going on with Saquon. I'm going to rank him as he's healthy. If something changed, we can make that adjustment. No, Marvin. No, I'm not going to be quiet. I have to get these rankings out, bro, before the night's over. Come on now. I got to get them out, bro. Appreciate you being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Troll if you want to, bro. We welcome it all here. You can troll. Moving on to my number 6 guy is going to be Bijan Robinson. I would have had Bijan Robinson probably top 4, but after what he did with Miami, no, I can't. That makes me nervous. It's not Bijan, it's the scheme. But yes, Bijan Robinson, guys, here's his schedule. The next 4 weeks for the third quadrant. New England, Indianapolis, Carolina, and New Orleans. Those are really good matchups for Bijan Robinson. And New England is a tough one, but you got to start Bijan Robinson anyway. You know, I'm just giving y'all the matchups. It doesn't really matter, but I wanted to give y'all those for the next 4 weeks for the third quadrant, just to give you a template of why I like some of these guys and how I break down the quadrants. So, yes, guys, Bijan is playing against New England, Indianapolis, Carolina, and New Orleans. He's going to catch passes. Don't overthink it. Don't be so hurt from the Miami Dolphins. But Yes, I am considered that in my rankings. That means that Bijan can run into a little bit more tougher matchups than any other running back, according to how they use him. They keep using Tyler Algier on the goal line. I don't know why. Bijan, yes, he is catching a lot of passes. I like that, but I need him to get the goal line and the honey touches. I don't need Tyler Algier coming in there and getting honey touches. Use Tyler Algier between the 20s. Don't use him at the goal line. What the hell are you doing? Why are you got Bijan there for him to get sniped? All right, going on to my number 5, guys, going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, Jahmyr Gibbs. And guys, his schedule is going to be Minnesota, Washington, Philly, and New York Giants. We're not worried about the matchups when it comes to these guys, so I'm going to still read the matchups. But these guys, we don't care about the matchups. These guys needs to be started. But Jahmyr Gibbs, this Detroit team is special. So all the players on Detroit, from Jameson Williams all the way to Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jared Goff, need to be started. You don't have to start Jameson. You don't have to start David Montgomery, but I think they are good starters. I'd rather start those guys than to be starting Ollie Gordon, trying to start Kareem Hunt. I'd rather start guys on Detroit. Like, I'd rather start David Montgomery over a bad offense, running back like a Tony Pollard or somebody. Now, I do like Tajay Spears. He didn't make the rankings, but he is a good running back. So, yes, guys, Jahmyr Gibbs, you play him every single week. It's easy. It's simple. Don't trade him away. I think he's going to be a top 5 running back. Moving on to my number 4 guy, it's going to be Devon Achane. Devon Achane. And the reason why, guys, I like Devon Achane, I think he's game script proof. He can catch passes. He can line up at wide receiver. He can take a bell cow role. He's not injury prone like we think he is. And his skill is, I just want you to know, the injuries, don't be worried about game script. He's game script proof. He's game script proof. And to go to self-defecate a little bit, I thought Alvin Kamara would be game script proof. He's not. That's one of my misses. Hopefully things change around, and I think it's a possibility with Tyler Shote being the quarterback. He's not that mobile, so he will be checking down to Alvin Kamara a little bit more than what Spencer Rattler was. So I wanted to say that that's what Devon Achane now is. He is the new Alvin Kamara, where he can line up at wide receiver, and he's going to be in the game no matter what. Moving on to my number 3 guy, which is one of my favorite running backs this year, is going to be James Cook. He had 200 yards. Y'all know I've been telling you, like, that was going to happen. Like, James Cook is about to do some amazing stuff. He's going to have over 1,500 yards. It could be close to 2,000. Just depends on what happens, how they use him. I think they're going to use him. I think he's going to be averaging about 150 yards a game for this 3rd quadrant and going into the 4th quadrant. He's playing against Kansas City, which is a very tough matchup. He's playing against Miami, which is giving it up behind the dumpster. Tampa Bay, solid matchup. In Houston, very, very solid matchup. So he don't have great, I would say, great matchups, but his quarterback is Josh Allen. So whenever it's Josh Allen, you have to games playing around Josh Allen, which is going to open it up for James Cook. The defensive ends and the backside linebackers will not be chasing James Cook. You have to stay at home in case Josh Allen keeps the ball and tries to come out the back door for the green zone touchdown or for between the 20s. So I love James Cook. That was the main reason why I love James Cook, because I know teams would be game planning against Josh Allen trying to stop him. And next thing you know, you didn't got gaped or gapped by James Cook. All right, let's move on to my last 2 guys. My number 2 guy is going to be CMC. Yeah, CMC. That's one of my best pickups of the year. I told you to take that value, especially at him going between 170 and 110. It was a tremendous value. This is probably should have been like the number 1 or number 2 pick, overall pick. Nobody picked him like that. Maybe a few people did. But he's balling out. And here's his schedule. This week he got New York Giants, giving it up behind the dumpster as far as the run game and pass game for CMC. The Rams, good defense. That's solid. Arizona, they can be head. He's going to kill them. And Carolina, giving it up behind the dumpster. So he has tremendous matchups. CMC is going to be a league winner if he stays healthy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? What's up, Silk? And last but not least, I got to give it to him. I thought James Cook would probably be the number 1 guy on this quadrant, but it ain't. It's Jonathan Taylor. He's killing it. He looks like Jonathan Taylor from 2 years ago before he had the injury when he was the number 1 guy in fantasy. He's doing it again. So congratulations to Jonathan Taylor. Congratulations to Daniel Jones. These guys are playing out of their mind. You saw Jonathan Taylor every week. I'm not going to sit here and break Jonathan Taylor down. We all know. We see his points. But his schedule is Pittsburgh, good matchup. Atlanta, good matchup. And then a bye week, and then Kansas City, which is a tough matchup. But it doesn't matter. It's Jonathan Taylor. So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm not about to leave, but I just wanted to let y'all know, like, appreciate y'all listening through the list. I know it's kind of redundant. That's why I don't like listing and listing and listing, because it just sounds like an echo chamber. But again, I'm going to read through the list. Number 12, Chase Brown. Number 11, Kamani Vidal. Number 10, Derrick Henry. Number 9, Quinshon Judkins. Number 8, Josh Jacobs. Number 7, Saquon Barkley. Number 6, Bijan Robinson. Number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 4, Devon Achane. Number 3, James Cook. Number 2, CMC. And number 1, Jonathan Taylor. So, let's get to the sauce. Let's get to the sauce. Let's get to the questions. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's go. We got 36 people in the building. I love it. I love it. Flood the comment section, guys, if you can. Yes, sir. Big Will says, what's good, TD? I'm here for the boom. I lost to a dude with a losing record, and now I'm out for revenge. I love it. Come on, Kobe Bryant. You got that Kobe Bryant mentality. Big Will says, also, I dropped Golden for DK. I love that. I understand why you did that. I did that in a couple leagues. Golden hasn't made boom as projected so far and has crowded the receiver core. DK has produced for 2 straight weeks and may become the number 1. Thoughts? Yes, I agree. He's had at least 7 targets the last 2 weeks. He's beat out Alec Ayomanno for the number 1 spot. I think him and Cam have some chemistry. And with the coaches being fired, they probably going to keep and ride that out. Pause. So, yes, I love DK. I love that move, bro. That's cutting-edge content right there. Yes, sir. Tail Dog in the building. What's good, D-Lion? D-Lion says he a Cowboy fan. Yes, I am. I am a Cowboy fan. Mr. G says Panthers coach said that Rico going to start getting more touches. I agree. That's why I told y'all do not drop no Rico. I told y'all that yesterday, and I've been telling y'all that you got to hold on to both of them to see what's happened. They made a decision. Now, do you understand when I talk about being patient, what that means? I'm not just telling you to get caught with the bag. It's about being patient in life. Let me tell y'all something, man, real quick. You know I give out my stories. I give out my stories. I'm sorry. So if you new here, just be patient. But guys, so I went through my situation. I didn't work for like almost 10 years. I was just doing little in and out jobs. But I finally got my first job making like $13 an hour. That was good money for me. I was about to get on my feet. I'm bringing in about almost $400 a week, almost, after taxes. And, I'm starting to get my wardrobe and stuff. I'm getting back to TD, what TD has always been. I was going through a lot. So I was building up my wardrobe, getting my clothes, my shoe game. And I had told this dude, it was a girl that worked there. And I was like, bro, you see that girl right there? He was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, she nice looking and stuff. I said, she is. I said, I want to get her. He said, go holler. I said, no, man, I ain't got the wardrobe right now. I don't have the earrings right now. I don't got the jewelry. I don't got the swag. I don't got no car. I got people dropping me off from work. She not going to be attracted to that. I said, I'm going to sit back and just be incognito. And once I get out of that, I'm going to get her. And I said, it'll probably be like 6 or 7 months. He said, 6, 7, where you going to wait? Guys, I waited 6 or 7 months. Went to the dealership, bought me a new car, started changing around my swag. Don't you know I hollered at that girl? Now, nothing happened with that because she was like, boy, you ain't ready for it. Was just, that's a whole nother conversation. But all the guys were like, damn, bro, you precise, you patient. You patiently waited for what you was trying to get. Same thing with a lion when they crawling in the grass. They might sit there and do that for 30, 45 minutes. And boom, then they go attack. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, you got to be patient with your players sometimes. You got to don't get off of them real quick. Wait. Next thing you know, you wake up, you didn't hit the lottery. Come on, Quinshon is out. Nah, I don't want to, not going to. Omari and Hampton out. You got Kamani Vidal because you drafted him for some reason or whatever. Now look what you got. But if you be like, hey, Kamani ain't this. Sometimes I just want y'all guys to know you got to be patient. That's how I play fantasy. Some people don't play fantasy that way, but that's how I play fantasy. So I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but I wanted y'all to understand that. I like to give my little stories. But yeah, it's Rico time. K-Dub, what's up, bro? What's up, K-Dub? Jake says, what team do you support? I support the Cowboys, but I'm a fantasy football fan analyst first. D-Line, he ain't asked you. Don't be telling people I'm a Cowboy fan. I might not want everybody in my business. Daniel says, happy Wednesday. Hey, everyone. What's going on, Daniel? Holy says, Saints are the worst team in the NFL. Yes. Yes, they are. Well, actually, it's a couple teams that could be really bad. It's outside of the Saints. Cleveland is bad. Even though they got a lot of talent and they got a good defense, they are playing bad, too. Abby says, you single, what state are you? I'm from North Carolina. Adrian Kennedy says, yeah, Barkley got to stay healthy. That's the main thing. And that's for every player. Intelligence says, would you consider Debo as a boom or bust wide receiver 3 moving forward? Yes. And 2, Jaden Daniels gets back. Once Jaden Daniels gets back and they can stretch the field so Debo can open up his game, right now people are starting to sit on top of Debo on the quick screens. But when Jaden Daniels comes back and Terry is more healthy, they're going to start pushing the ball downfield, and it's going to open it up for Debo to eat. Maple Leafs 34 says, you should be an auctioneer. Thank you, bro. I heard I talk fast. Kuma, what's up, Kuma? Strike Den says Calvin Ridley and Jerry Jeudy big time bums this year. Yeah, they are. I already know that about Calvin Ridley, but Jerry Jeudy, I'm surprised, especially when Joe Flacco was the quarterback. But hopefully, when Shadur takes over, that maybe Jerry Jeudy can start playing better again. But Calvin Ridley, yeah, he's playing like a bum. I don't think he's a bum, but he's playing like a bum. SH33 Dunn says, good to hear. I drafted Gibbs and A-Chain with my first 2 picks. Great job, bro. Cutting edge content. D-Line says, Charbonnet next 4 weeks. Commanders, Cardinals, Rams, Titans. Good flex options. I'm not touching Walker no more. Thoughts? And that's what I've been saying for years. For 2 years. I don't want no Walker. Not that he suck. He just, man, it's just the way they treat him over there. You don't want that type of fantasy player. It's worse than Pacheco. It's worse than Pacheco. Not Pacheco. Yeah, it's worse than Pacheco. How they do Pacheco. Kenneth Walker, those guys, you don't, no, you don't want those players on your team. Those are my big time fades too. Big Will says, my strategy was to draft Lamar and Henry, but I ended up drafting Josh Allen and Cook. Best stack I've drafted. Great job, bro. Great job. You pivoted when you needed to. And that's what it's about when it comes to drafting and fantasy. Colback said Debo is a bust. I will hold off on saying that. Jaden Daniels has been out. We've seen wide receivers struggle. Would you call Jamar Chase a bust with Browning? Or would you call him a winner when they got Joe Flacco? You see what I'm saying? So what's the common denominator? If you got to pull out why he playing bad and why he playing good, the common denominator, he did have a quarterback. So when I'm doing my math here, y'all know I'm really good at, I was really good at math. I didn't forgot a lot of my formulas. But when you got 2 fractions, you got to find the lowest common denominator on the bottom line, on the bottom one. And I believe when it comes to Jamar Chase and when you start talking about Debo, they haven't had their quarterback a lot this year. So I think that's the main reason why they're not producing. But I get what you're saying. If you just want to look at it in a vacuum straight, bro, what kind of points you giving me? Yeah, Debo could be considered a bust, but he wasn't drafted in the first 5 rounds this year. Debo was actually drafted in the 7th round, so I actually will pull that back. He wasn't a bust. Kuma says Troy Franklin, DK, and Christian Watson. Who should I start? And also, guys, I got a start and sit video coming tonight at 9 o'clock. The video is coming on at 9 o'clock. It's between Troy Franklin and DK, but I'm going to go with Troy Franklin. I like Troy Franklin and the road that they're giving him. He's not seen a number 1 corner. That's for Cortland Sutton. So Troy Franklin is being able to get open against weaker corners, number 2 corners, number 3 corners. So I'm gonna go with Franklin. But if you wanted to go with DK, I don't think you would be wrong. But let's see DK get one more week. Let's get a trend from him. We kind of got a little bit of a trend from Troy Franklin. We kind of can trust. We can trust Troy Franklin a little bit more than we can trust DK. If we was to play DK and he give you a 0, it wouldn't be the DK fault because he's playing with a rookie quarterback. He's a rookie, so it would make that like, yeah, I shouldn't have played him. Troy Franklin has been balling. He's been having some trends. He has good games early. He got a little volatile, then he came back, been balling, and he's the most consistent wide receiver on the team. So I'm gonna go with Troy Franklin over Christian Watson, who just got back on the injury report. Not saying I don't think he hurt his knee, but maybe they're just gonna rest him a little bit. Double JE says, "What's up, TD? Let's get them likes up." Yes, let's get the likes up, fellas. Jay Label says, "Would you start Darnold over Dart or May this week?" No, I'm starting May over Dart and Darnold. So I will rank them by May, Dart, and Darnold. May, Dart, and Darnold. Ed Tate in the building. He says, pick one, J-Mo, Kareem Hunt, or Woody Marks. Okay, so when it comes to J-Mo, Kareem Hunt, bruh, and Woody Marks, you have a decision on what you're trying to do. So when you build a house, you got to know what type of house I'm building. When you get ready to make a start, what type of start are you get ready to start? J-Mo is a boom bust guy. So if you need upside, you playing against a guy, he got Lamar, he got Derrick Henry, he got CMC, he got Rashid Rice, then you need to play maybe J-Mo to get the upside. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna use a metaphor, so work with me here. You ever been out with a group of guys and you got that one dude where he can fight? It don't mean he gonna win them all, but he gonna be the one that first. He gonna steal off. He gonna be the one to initiate it. He ain't scared. Like, he might not be the biggest, but he feisty. But guess what? The other guys protects him in case something go bad. We gonna protect him. So J-Mo is a boom guy. He can set it off. But guess what? If he don't set it off, you should have other players like CMC, good running backs, good tight ends, good quarterbacks to protect him. You know how many people win, even though they might get a low scoring output from one particular player? It doesn't matter. So you got to be okay with that. Or go with Kareem Hunt, who's going to get goal line touches. He's going to get a touchdown. It's guaranteed. I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's guaranteed that Kareem Hunt gets a touchdown. If he don't, it is what it is. Maybe it's the Kansas City way and Pat Mahomes throws for 4. But I'm pretty sure with Pacheco being out, I think they're going to give Kareem Hunt an opportunity to score over Brashard Smith for the 1 or 2 yard touchdown where they don't want Pat Mahomes to sneak it in. So that's what Kareem Hunt is. That's what Kareem Hunt is. He's a goal line honey touch guy. He's not going to get no value, no more than 12 touches, but it's 2 or 3 of them going to be from the 5 yard and in. Woody Marks is still developing. He got a nice role, but it's still getting funky over there between him and Nick Chubb. So I like Woody, but I, myself, the way I play fantasy, I don't know your team, Ed Tay. I will go with J-Mo, and hopefully I got supported players. If I didn't have supported players, if I'm streaming a bunch of positions, I would go with Kareem Hunt. So Woody, I like Woody, but it's going to be hard to get him in the lineup over J-Mo with the matchup that J-Mo has going against the Kansas City, where they need him to help soften up their defense. That's why I like J-Mo this week. Tough matchups, I love J-Mo. Tough matchups with Detroit. It's the easy matchups that they don't target J-Mo. Let's see. Appreciate the super chat from Big Will. He said, thanks, bro. On the way to getting another chip. You know it. And when you get the ship, bro, email me. Show me if you get a trophy. Show me your team. Whatever you can show me, because I want to be able to post these things in my community tab. Appreciate this super chat, bruh. Rashid says, do you think Hubbard gets goal line touches? I think he could get. Now, listen, is he going to get this goal line touch where they get down there, they throw it to Tet for a 20-yard catch, and they right there on the 5, and Rico's going to start? No, he's not going to get that one no more. They did that last 2 weeks. He's not going to get that one. But if Rico go and he get tired and Chuba come in and break a 14, 15-yard run, Chuba will get that one. So Chuba still is one of the best RB2s. I would say David Montgomery, Chuba. Like, they own that same tier. They ain't Jameer. It ain't Rico, but he still can come in and get his own touchdown. He don't have to wait to an injury anymore. So Chuba still is okay to start, but I don't think he's going to be coming in and they're going to take Rico out, and then Rico ain't tired. They're just going to take him out because they love Chuba. That's done with now. It's going to be, how did you get it? You got to get it from your own strength. So whoever's in that game and they've been playing well, they'll get that touchdown. He says, my running backs are Chubbs, Chase, and Hubbard. Traded Bucky for A.J. Brown when he first got injured. Okay. So, yeah, you can play Chuba if you need to, and hopefully your other players can support him if he give you a dud and see what happens. And maybe you might not like it moving forward. You might want to get off Chuba after this week. But I just want you to know that Chuba is not going to come in and snipe all the goal line touches from Rico. That's not happening. Eduardo, what's up, bro? He says, for this week, R.J. Harvey or Tajay Spears? Tajay Spears, bro. D-Lion says, Ramondre didn't practice it. Let's go. And I'm not talking about an injury. I'm talking about for Travion Henderson. He says, they added D'Ernest Johnson, but this should be the Henderson show. Come on now. Come on, D-Lion. Darius, what's up, bro? What's good, bro? He said, would you trade Rome Odunze for Chase Brown and Butte? Yeah, if you need a running back, bro, and then you getting to replace another wide receiver with Butte, who ain't Rome, but he gonna give you them spike weeks that Rome can give you, and Rome ain't really killing it now. So I understand why you're making a trade, because you're getting Chase Brown. That's the common denominator. I'm gonna pull that common number out of there, and I'm say, well, shit, you're gonna get Chase Brown, so you're gonna be fine. As long as Joe Flacco is healthy. If Joe Flacco go down, it could be a bad trade. So we need Joe Flacco is like your lifeline for Chase Brown. And you're getting Butte, who you can throw in the lineup any week in the flex, and he can give you upside. Kuma says A.J. Barner or Noah Fant. That's rough. I don't like neither one of them. I think you can get a better tight end, but if you got to play between those two, Kuma, let's go with A.J. Barner. B. Silver says, I need a tight end in full PPR. Henry at Falcons, Juwan Johnson at the Rams, Isaiah Likely at the Dolphins. I got Goddard and Njoku on the bye. Okay, so I can't say Likely, unless Mark Andrews gets traded before the week over, I can't go with Likely. Juwan Johnson is safe. The Rams is a good defense, but he's safe. I like Hunter Henry for the touchdown upside. Now, Tyler Schultz tells me that Juwan Johnson will have a lot of targets. So I would say Juwan Johnson probably is going to score the most points, but I think Henry could boom. Also, he could get 2 touchdowns because he's playing on a really good team, like with Drake May, who's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the second best quarterback in the league right now, or third best quarterback. So safe is Juwan Johnson. Henry could give you the 2 touchdown upside, but so could Juwan. So I think Juwan is the starter here, bro. I would say Juwan Johnson. Yes, sir, Juwan Johnson. Holy Inspiration says, did you add Samar GP, Ryan? No, I did not add Samar GP, Ryan. I don't need Samar GP, Ryan, on my team. I didn't do a lot of 0 RB leagues or drafts this year, so I don't really need running backs like that. The Bengals running backs have been more involved in their run game, have one of the easiest schedules for running backs over the rest of the season. Cutting edge content. That's why I went to Chase Brown instead of Samar G, but I get what you're saying. But I love Chase Brown going forward. But that's cutting edge content. Good information right there. Holy Inspirations. Big Will says, where would you rank Kareem Hunt in the 3rd or 4th quadrant, assuming he takes over the starting role? He would be a top 24 guy because of the green zone. I'll say like 19, 18. You know what I'm saying? Because he's getting goal line touches on a really good offense. That's what I would do. Tall and Lanky says, go, Pack, go. You love your Packers. Darius T81 says, my running backs are K9, Ja'Cory Crosby, Merritt, Hampton, Spears, Mason. Wide receivers are Pick and Room, London, Nico, and Leggett. Okay. I just want to see what Darius. Okay, so you trading Rome. So this is what I'll tell you, Darius, going forward. You probably going to have to put that question back. Usually I'm not going to go up too far, but we don't have a lot of people in here. So I will go back, but you said you traded Rome for Chase Brown and Butte, and your wide receivers are, your running backs are K9, okay. Wide receivers are. And your running backs. Yeah, you need to, because you got K9, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt ain't getting it right now. Hampton is hurt. So you need Spears and you need Chase Brown. Yes, I can see why you would make that move, and you getting Boutte back, and you already got London and Pickens and Nico. So yes, I would make that move. SH33 says, Tita, you think when Shadur gets in, it'll be grab any Browns players you can, the wide receivers? I think you're going to want Tillman or Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku if he's still there, or Harold Fan. It just depends on what tight end is there. If both of them there, both of the tight ends, you still going to want to play both of them like we're doing now. I think Shadur is going to help David Njoku out because he throws that jump ball. You know, that's what he did with Travis Hunter. Jerry Jeudy, he can throw guys open and accurate. Jerry Jeudy going to be catching the ball in the cover 3 zone holes. And Tillman can be able to do him coming off IR. So, yeah. Gabriel Prophet says Leggett is trash. I don't want to say he's trash yet, but he's not playing up to his potential. And I'm going to blame him, and I'm not just going to blame the quarterback. So I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think he still can overcome it. I still think he's a physical specimen. I still think he could be really good in the NFL. Dean James Taylor says, you like starting Travis Hunter and Juwan Jennings this week over T. Higgins and Xavier Worthy? No, I'm not starting. No. I can't do it. I always was out there like, yeah, do it. Yeah, but T. Higgins, no. Not with Joe Flacco in there. And Xavier Worthy, with the way Pat Mahomes is playing, no. But I would say you need to get Travis Hunter in there, but Juwan Jennings cannot. I wouldn't put him in there, but I would. Travis Hunter, I think he is going to have a great week. SH33 says, I dropped Leggett and stashed Likely. His rest of the season schedule is fire. Yes, it is. Daniel Dwyer says, I was liking Torrey Horton early in the season, but they stopped playing him. Gabriel says, trash. He's talking about that, I forgot the guy name. Bubba Dub. Trash. He says, all them Ravens receivers, trash, except Bowers. I ain't going to say Jacoby Myers is trash, but he's not number one. Kuma. B. Silver says, hey, TD, do you ever look at the types of coverages defenses play? Yes, all the time. That's how I watch the game. He says, to determine what wide receiver streamers to start? No. So don't get too cute. This game, football is a good sport, but you can overanalyze it. You have to know what you're doing and just do it. Like, you don't want to be, well, listen, they run cover 3, so I need a tall wide receiver, so I'm going to play Gabe Davis. Nah, you don't do that. You still play Jerry Jeudy against Pat Surtain if you have to do it. Now, if you got other wide receivers that are getting targets, yeah. But don't go and overread the cover. So it's cover 2, so I'm going to play G. Elderman. Oh, it's man, so I'm going to play Antonio Brown. I don't think that's too deep. That's too much for fantasy, because look at Jamar Chase. They triple teaming him. He still catch it. So you have to consider that. You have to consider how good the player is. Derrick Henry, they got 10 people in the box. He still break a long run. So when it comes to those players, now when you go down to streamers off the waiver wire, that's why when I go to DST, I'm looking at everything. Giving up behind the dumpster. Oh, okay, you didn't have 4 bad weeks. You ain't got no pass rush. I do that for DST and picking up a tight end because Brock Bowers is out. Oh, Darnell Washington, how many targets you got? What does he do against zone coverage? But I'm not doing it for my studs. Just like you treat your wife one type of way. You don't ask your wife to do weird things in the bedroom. But if you're going out and you are a bachelor, you might ask the girl that you met, y'all been hanging out for a while, to do all types of stuff. But you don't do that with your wife, right? So it's the same thing. You don't treat your studs any type of way. You start your studs, but you can get cute with it when it comes to streamers. Great question, B Silver. Jay Labor says, Genty or Ted half-point PPR? Let's go with Ted. Not Ted. Let's go with Genty in half-point PPR. Let's go with Genty in half-point PPR. Holy Inspiration says, if Kmet can't go again this week, Loveland is a great spot against the Bengals defense. They giving it up to the tight ends. Yes, they are. But, I'm still nervous because Caleb Williams doesn't know how to exploit matchups like that for Cincinnati Bengals. So, yes, Coastal Loveland, what I just said is how you break that down. And that's what I did last week, but he didn't go to him. So, I like Loveland if I need to stream a tight end, but be aware that he could go out there and give you 4 or 5 points. As long as you're okay with that, I think he is a good streamable with all the matchups. According to Cincinnati, what they do against tight ends, all the data tells you to play Colston Loveland. But I also want you to know that it don't matter what the data says. Sometimes shit can happen. You got to look at the quarterback. If is he going to target Colston Loveland like that? We don't know. Tron Ford says, I have McLaurin and he's re-aggravated that injury. I traded Bam and Fanning from my bench for Debo as insurance, and now he's the #1 for the JD5. You can say he's the #1, but I think somebody else is going to get targets. Luke McCaffrey, because people are going to be on Debo because you don't have no wide receiver to back up the corners and the safeties, and that's the coverage. So if I'm playing, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you something. If I'm playing Jaden Daniels and no Terry McLaurin, I'm running cover 2 and I'm running cover 1 robber because I want to take. When I see Debo out there, I want to attack him. I'm not gonna give him none of that. Turn around and say he can run, and then beat me deep. We can run with you, Debo. When you playing against Terry McLaurin, I gotta stay right in front of him, and I gotta read him. Because if I make a mistake, he's fast enough to kill me. Debo is no longer fast enough where if you make a mistake and he get off of you in the line of scrimmage, you can catch back up and knock that ball down. So that's what worries me about Debo. And he needs somebody to help stretch the field. Said those corners can like, okay, we got to back up, guys, because they might run that damn cover, that in route behind us at 12 yards. But you're not going to be worried about Luke McCaffrey. So if Luke goes and shows them I can ball too, then that'll help Debo get his superpowers back and start eating underneath and doing what he do. Macron, he says, I have Baker on bye this week, so would you start out with these guys, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, and Tua? I have Baker on a bye this week, so who would you start out of these guys? I would start Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. Tron says JD5 is back and healthy. Yes. Duncan Patricia says, word up, TD, behind the dumpster. Rashik, he says, need a Theo Barner, Ertz, or Loveland. I'm going with Ertz with JD5 back. Duncan Petrelli says, which duo do you like better rest of the season, Derrick Henry and Debo or Kyron Williams and Pittman? Kyron Williams and Pittman. Debo, I love Derrick Henry, but Debo, I'm nervous about Debo. I'm not nervous about Pittman. I'm not nervous about Kyron Williams. Holy Inspiration says, do you think the Bears should use Caleb Williams as a dedicated runner the way New York used Justin Fields? No. I think they need to use Caleb Williams the way Pat Mahomes plays the game. He got to go take off, man, and get out of bounds. None of that and running up the middle. I don't want Caleb doing none of that. I was about to take a shot at him, but I was going to be wrong. I was like, they might hit his hand and hurt his fingers. Right, I'm wrong for that. I apologize. I'm not disrespect. I don't disrespect people that way, so I apologize. But yes, I think he needs to be creative in the pocket. So he needs to know it's 3rd and 3. They calling a play. Ben want me to run around and make a big play. Okay, this is 2nd and 8. I need to be on time and get the ball out. Ain't none of no creativity. I'm not gonna do nothing creative right here. Say it. Get the ball out. Now so he needs to learn when he can get freaky, pause, and when he needs to be on time and get the ball out like a Ben Johnson offense. That's what I think I want to see. That's how I want to see Caleb play. I don't think he needs carries like a Lamar Jackson or anybody. Great question though, Holy Inspirations. Cutting edge content. The Private Pal says Tootin or Monaga down the stretch. Who you want? Pause. This is just a tomato. To me, you know what's going to be good? Who gets hurt? Which running back in front of these guys do you think is going to get hurt? Do you think Travis Etienne or DeAndre Swift? I think both of them, DeAndre Swift and Travis Etienne, are both volatile on the same level. They both have never played a whole 17-game season, but they on their way to do that. Now, it's a lot of games to play. We still got 9 games to play. So I would say, and I'm not saying it's a crapshoot, I would go with Monagai because he's already getting 50% of the snaps. He says, DMX, is that you? Hey, listen, let me tell you something, bro. Y'all won't believe this. Don't y'all know I didn't start listening to rap until I was like 19 years old? I never started listening to rap till I was 19. And so I like the, Eminem. Well, I actually listened to Eminem early in my, like when I was like 12. But then later, I wouldn't listen to rap. I listened a little bit of Jeezy. I could tell you the hooks. That's it. Then I actually started listening to the words, like with Jeezy, Gucci. And once I started listening to words, you know who my favorite rapper ended up being? DMX. Man, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Just the shit that he's talking. I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. Like that's DMX is one of the best rappers of all time. I said what I said, and he's not lyrical like that, but he be talking that real shit. Go. I want y'all to look up Jay Z when he said, go to YouTube and say, look up Jay Z and DMX concert response. And Jay Z said, "Oh, I'm Jay Z. It's my concert. I'm about to come out there. I'm about to kill it." He said, "DMX comes out there. They said the women went crazy, started taking off their clothes. He said, before we get started, we want to pray. He said everybody started crying. Like DMX is commanding his audience, and guess what? It's like me commanding my YouTube people. Like a lot of people come on here and they got bigger followings than me, but do they followers follow their content creators the way y'all follow me? Like I could be outside right now and you can't even see me. And I'll be doing a live and y'all, it'd be 60, 70 people on here. So that's the type of audience that DMX had. It was so loyal, he could lose all this money, be broke, and go and do a $40,000 show just like that. Jay-Z, if he said the wrong thing, he gonna get canceled. No matter what DMX ever said, he was never gonna get canceled. So yeah, man, I love DMX. It's one of my favorite rappers of all time. Holy Express says it's also hard to know what to make of Kyle Pitts, who is occasionally featured in. So he's one of these guys, man. Don't overanalyze it. Don't say he's hard to know what to make of Kyle Pitts. You just start him. I'm not saying he's a start every week, but when you start him, you're like, it's Kyle Pitts. I'm going down with the ship. If you try to say, well, is he gonna get 6 targets this week? Don't do that. I'm telling y'all. If one day y'all gonna come in and give me those, TD, you right, man. I don't even worry about what the targets are. I know the guy's he's out there on the game and they need him, so I'm gonna play him. That's when you start becoming a better fantasy player, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So if you need to start Kyle Pitts, don't overthink it. You start him. Don't go to the Okay, I see. I see now. What about now, guys? Can you hear me now? What about now? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Got to learn this technology. I don't know what the hell. Just because I got a phone call, it went out. So sorry about that. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm not going to be able to get through some of the comments, but I'm not going back all over those comments. I saw people leaving the chat. I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay, thank you, Voltron. Site guy says, fix it, bro. Okay, no audio, TD. Thank you. Signing off, bro. No audio. Thank you. Gotcha. No audio. Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, I guess I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Everybody then left the chat. Magic says, I can't read your lips. He said, yep, last thing we heard was Managa. Okay, thank you, Father 3. The Managa. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, Tootin or Managa down the stretch. I would go with Managa because he's getting 50% of the snaps. Can y'all hear me? Let me know that you can hear me. Yes, I'm dropping a video at 9 o'clock tonight, Voltron. Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, I'm dropping a video at 9 o'clock. But yeah, I would go with Managa over Tootin because he's getting 50% of the snaps. I said the DMX story. I'm sorry, I know y'all missed it, but basically DMX is my favorite rapper. And Kyle Pitts, Holy Inspiration. You just got to play Kyle Pitts, bruh. You just got to play Kyle Pitts because if you overlook it, you're not going to be able to get to him. He just one of these volatile guys. They have no game script for him, so it's hard to get a game script. You have to be a top 2 player on your team to get like a nice game script to count on in fantasy. But he's not getting it, and he should. He was a top 5 pick, so I would just play Kyle Pitts when you need to. Yeah, I wouldn't go stream nobody over. I would just play him and catch the boom when I can. That's how you play some of these guys. So everybody is not gonna. You're not gonna be able to get to their boom games when you try to play matchups and look at the analytics of when you should play them, when they should boom. Tron says need 2 wide receivers in the flex. That would be Travis Hunter, Jalen Warren, and Nico. If you want to replace Jalen Warren with Olave, that's fine. How you feel about Ladd and Pittman rest of the season? I think these are top 32, top 24 guys, and you just have to play them. They don't. I think they're good starts. They are like wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s and flex plays. Chris Walker says Chris Brown or Genty this week. I'm going with Chris Brown, loans Flacco, Chase Brown. I'm going with Chase Brown, loans Flacco is healthy. Jay Moore says Pearsall was out because no, Pearsall was out, but was able to pick Jennings off waivers, right? Voltron said, you think Tootin gets more involved after the bye? Yes, I do. I do. Just traded Rico and Sutton for Henry and QJ. Did I get finesse? No, you didn't, Tom Go. And I answered that earlier, but I apologize. No, you didn't. You got Derrick Henry. I think that's a great side of the trade. You got Derrick Henry. And QJ just going to be a cherry on top, the boom. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Y'all be safe. Dustin says, "What's up, man? Who you rolling with this week? Jags or Green Bay? Been burned already by Green Bay. Who do the Jags got? Who do the Jags got? Let me know, Dustin, who the Jags are playing." Rasheed says, "Will Ken Walker break out and is Woody Marks the RB1?" No, he not the RB1, but he's a good RB to play. The Raiders, yes, I will play the Jags. I would play the Jags. Will Ken Walker break out? No. He's a trade him immediately, man, if you can. He's just a trap back. Woody Marks right now is a RB2. Nick Chubb is still rotating. I like Woody to play him on as a flex, but he's not an RB1 yet. Jose said, "Hello, sports is rigged." It may be, bruh. It may be. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.